What product or services is way more expensive than it need to be? Oh, product and services. Well, there are so many things. Okay, let's talk one by one. Okay, prescription medication. Okay, like the medicine. Probably medicines are like really expensive. Yeah, but we don't really have any choice. Okay, like we have to take the medicine because it's essential. It's makes you better. Okay, if you are not good, so this is kind of like a something really might be the company will take the advantages of that, and they are making more and more expensive medicines. But yeah, but let me tell you one thing. I am living in India, and the medication cost and the doctor and prescription is not really that much, like way more expensive. It's not that much big expensive. But if you are living in US, Europe, the kind of like a something really taking, like if you wanted to talk to a doctor or kind of like a somebody consult a doctor, you really require insurance. Okay, yeah, because like this is really expensive. And in India we don't really have that many like a healthcare insurance. Okay, but US, they have a lot, like since the born they have this insurance. I'm not really sure since the born, but yeah, everyone is actually making sure that they will have that health insurance, so that whenever things gone happen, we have some certain things. We don't really have that kind of like a stuff because the prices is not really that much big. If you are kind of like a way to surgery or stuff like that, then it kind of like a became big problem, or something happened suddenly like you went to accident, then yeah. But for the normal kind of thing like illness and yeah, this is kind of like a stuff which is kind of not really that much expensive. Okay, yeah. Next point is college education. Dude, this is like really expensive. Like yeah, it is expensive, trust me. It is like you actually familiar with this thing. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you um, regarding about the like. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you regarding about my experience regarding about the money and okay. I'm in living in India. The education system here is provided, like education fee structure is actually kind of like provided by the Indian education system. Okay, but the fee structure is kind of like a something different from student to student. Basically, fee structure is kind of like a something different because of we have caste system. What's the caste system? In the caste system, the people who belongs to open. What's open? Open means like Hindus and Brahmins and stuff like that. Those are kind of like something like open category. Okay, then another category is a scheduled tribe category. Okay, scheduled caste. Then the people who is actually Adivasi. Then like very poor people. Okay, it's not poor people, but yeah. So why is this thing actually like exist? Okay, by a technical point of perspective, it's really bad. Okay, why some person has actually paying so much amount of money in the college, and some people is not paying that much amount of money? Why is this thing? It's a kind of like something really very history is actually connected to us. Okay, since the beginning, like our history is actually way much rich. Not rich means like I'm not talking about money, I'm talking about like a very old. And in India, basically this kind of like a something nation is actually separated by so many ethnicities, so many cultural, so many things. Okay. uh, since the beginning, the foundation of this nation is actually based on caste system. Okay. So the people who belongs to like a Brahman or Hindu, they have kind of like a something really upper class. Okay. The people who is actually not Hindu, they have to belong to some sort of middle class, and the people who is actually like not belong to any of those caste like a Hindu and other stuff, like there are so many caste and system वगैरह. So those are belongs to the third layer. Okay. So basically upper layer of people are mostly Hindus and Brahman. I'm not kind of like somebody pointing out some certain caste and things like that. I am completely against about this thing, but I'm talking about the history. Okay. And in the history these are things are actually happen. So probably the upper caste, the upper people is actually have a edge of how do kind of like control the money. So basically the upper people, the Hindus and Brahmins, are kind of like a very rich people. Okay. Then there is a middle person will get little bit rich, and the people who belong to the third category like scheduled caste and this and stuff like that, those are belongs to, they will get very less amount of money. Sometimes they didn't really get the money. Okay. So this is actually happened till the 1947. Okay. Like not the 1947, yeah, but in 1950, Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, who's actually um, wrote the entire constitution of India. In that particular constitution, they properly describe what is exactly the future India would look like. Okay. And they say that ki, if we wanted to kind of like a categorize the people according to the talent, which will not be possible on that time and in the future, at least for 100 year. Reason is that the, just an example is that ki, if our education system is actually based on talent, means like that ki, like whoever the person will get the talented, that person will go ahead, right? So this is called a system in every country. This is kind of like a system in every country has it, but India it's not. Let me example to you why is this thing is not working. So just an example is that ki, there are three type of student. Okay. First student is a kind of like a Hindu Brahman. Okay. Another person is a kind of like a something really middle, and third person is a scheduled caste वगैरह. Okay. So these are three students. Okay. So requirement for cracking that particular exam required books, admission fees, and stuff like that. Probably these are kind of like a thing which is kind of like a something really manageable for the people who are upper class or middle class, but the lower class is kind of like a something very difficult to manage that stuff. Okay. So, and this is kind of like a something like this thing. And as also um, in India we are like a, money is not the only issue. Okay. Like a caste and criticism, and like like what is actually word for the people who actually kind of like a categorized by the color and creeds and stuff like that. Okay. So we have that kind of like a stuff in India since the beginning. Okay. Like agar tu like this kind of like अगर तू इस जाति का है तो तू थोड़ा कम है, यानी basically you are kind of like a something like you should supposed to be on less, you should supposed to do very less amount of luxury, and you should supposed to do hard work for the entire lifetime. So this is kind of like a something mentality that we have since the beginning. Okay. So Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, who's actually kind of like a tell us the ground reality of the Indian culture and stuff like that. We need a kind of like a something like such a education system that not only provide for the Brahmins and upper layer, but like a middle and lower layer too. So everyone should supposed to be equal. Okay, but they say that this should supposed to be done for at least 50 year or 50 70 year. Then after that, the person should supposed to be judged by the talent. Ah, so this is what it is. Okay, so that's why we have kind of like a something this thing. Okay, and somewhat the Bhimrao Ambedkar does it, it's somewhat true. Okay, because we have, okay, like we have very like a very different caste system. Trust me, just like in India we have like a 52 millions of gods. Okay, like so many castes, and India, is it too much? But the question is that ki school, like a college or college fees and college structure. So because of we have kind of like a implement that kind of like a thing in our constitution. So constitution is applied to the all the citizen of the India. So that means I am the student, so that means I am also a citizen of the India. So basically I am belongs to the such community, tribe or scheduled caste. So I will not have to pay that much amount of money to the college and hostel. Okay, but the people who belongs to the open category, okay, that means like a brahman and stuff like that, he could easily afford that kind of like a something really a fee structure. And that's why he will get very big amount of fees. Okay, which is somewhat, this is not true. Because let me tell you one thing, I'm recording this thing artifact in 2024. Okay, Bhimrao Ambedkar says that this kind of like a something really arakshan or whatever it is, okay, it should supposed to be work for at least 50 or 70 year. It shouldn't supposed to be work more than that, because it will create a kind of like a something really diversity. Okay, means like that the law that we created for not to create the kind of like a something really a category of the people, in the end this law will create the category of the people. Okay, so still this law exists in our education system. Still we have, not only in the education system, in the job too. Okay, so which is like something really not that good. Okay, like yeah, okay, this is actually work in 1950s to 2000. Okay, for 50 year, but probably after that, means at least in 2024, I didn't really think that this is kind of like a stuff is exist. Because like everyone are equal here. Okay, and I'm talking about the Indian point of perspective, because I am born in here. Okay, and I see so many people. Okay, and trust me, I belongs to the scheduled caste tribes. Okay, so my grandfather didn't really study, didn't really do the education, because at that time getting the education is far more difficult, and as also he was kind of like a something really very lower class. So yeah, okay, means like that my grandfather was like belong to that era, that kind of era. So he didn't really get that education, or like he didn't really have that luxury to get the education. Okay, then my father, my father is kind of like a something really have a opportunity to get the education, and he get the education. And then after that, me. Okay, so basically is this thing that I am actually living a kind of like a some certain very good life here over here. Okay, it's not kind of like a something like that a very discrimination happen. Yeah, this is the word that I'm looking for. This is not kind of like something like discrimination happen over here. Okay, but still this kind of like a stuff is not good. Okay, and because of this, the some certain people are paying so less amount of money in college and college fee. But some people are paying so amount of so much amount of money in college fees. Okay, let me example to you. So our caste system, when it made, is actually kind of like a telling a story about the people who belongs to the brahman are have so much amount of money. Okay, middle has a less, the person who's actually belong to the third layer has a very less amount of money. Okay, this is kind of like a something structure, but at this moment it's completely different. Okay, some people are mostly equals. Okay, like mostly there are no upper and second layer, everyone are equal over here. Okay, but still some people are kind of like a little bit poor. I'm gonna tell you my story. uh, One of my friend is belongs to the open category. Okay, and he actually went to engineering college. Okay, in the engineering college the fees was extremely too much. Okay, because he is actually in the open category, so he have to pay that much amount of fee structure, which is like a very big number. Let me tell you one thing, he has to pay at least like 50,000 rupees per year in the fee structure. Okay, but the people who belongs to the scheduled caste tribe, they have to pay almost like 5,000 to 10,000. Okay, and then after that they will get scholarship too. So it's kind of like a something really that the entire fee structure is nothing to them. So because of the person, one of my friend who can't really afford that kind of like a something really money, because he was came from very poor family. Yeah, his caste is open as a Brahman, but he's poor. Okay, like his family is not really that much have money. So he dropped the college, and then he did a kind of like a graduation in a different different stream. Like he first he chose science, like after like science then engineering, but he dropped the engineering college and then he went to arts college. Okay, he did a BA. Okay, BA, and I'm not really sure, but he did kind of like a something art degree. Okay, and yeah, so this kind of like a something discrimination happened, which is not really good. Okay, so I think that like this is the time in 2024, this arakshan and this schedule caste tribes and getting scholarship is not good, because we are losing the talent. Okay, and that is really not that good, because like that came in the end our talent is matter. Okay, because if we wanted to develop our country, okay, if we wanted to make our country one of the best country in the world, the country will become best if the people are best. Okay, people are one of them, like if the power come from the people. Okay, if the people are actually judged by the still caste and stuff like that, then probably most of people are chose to kind of like a go somewhere and do education in some sort of country. So that's why in India most of the student, okay, are decided to go outside the country. Okay, but still those people who could afford, so that they could go there, but the people who can't, yeah. But this is the time in 2024, or maybe in the further year, uh this kind of like a stuff has to be end, this arakshan and this kind of like a something really the it shouldn't supposed to be happen, it's not good for the community. All right, but right now in this last 50 70 year, this is kind of like a something like politics happen because of these issues. And yeah, people are playing this thing or using this kind of like a something really a power to play politics. And it's not really good, because in the end you are playing the future of India. So yeah, really bad. Okay, then airline fees, the airline fees are expensive. Well, yeah, it is expensive, but it's worth it probably. Yeah, because let me tell you one thing, if I want to go to Bombay, it will take like a basically, if I'm living in Mumbai, okay, and if I wanted to go to Delhi, so the if by train, so it will take at least like a 1,000 rupees, or like yeah, 1,000 rupees for second class seat. Okay. But and it will take at least 12 hour or 12 plus hour. But airline is something really good. Okay, if we have kind of like a something airline, then will not only save the time, but also kind of like we save a lot of time. Okay. And I think time is a really important over here. So the cost required for taking flight or airline flight is okay. Like basically the cost of from Bombay to Goa, from Bombay to Delhi, it will roughly at least like 7 to 8 thousand rupees. Okay. By train it will take 1,000 rupees, so almost 7 times higher, but it will worth it. Okay, because you are saving time. So I think that, but probably these are kind of like a something really my opinion, because I'm living in India. So travel cost and accommodation cost is bit less over here. Okay. If you went to US, Europe, probably the money required for travel is too much. Yeah, but still, what could we do? Then cellular network and internet service. Well, cellular network internet service. Still, we have too much, but probably it's not too much actually. Like if I'm compared to the other countries, then probably it will paying very less amount of money to get internet in India. Okay. In US and in Europe or any other part of world, paying so much amount of money to access the internet, but they will also get that kind of like a something quality of internet, like the speed, the 5G and 4G. Yeah, we have 4G 5G. Okay. But we didn't really get that much amount of speed. When did you last time you get almost like a 1 MB 2 MB or 3 MB speed? No, definitely you will get 200 KB 300 KB, that's it. Yeah, probably is this thing. So then branded fashion and luxury goods. Branded fashions, well, it is also kind of like a something very expensive. By the way, I haven't really used it, but there is a one branded company, iPhone. Okay. Like it's kind of like a something like a consuming so much amount of money for very, I don't know. Yeah, but still iPhone is kind of like a something became the brand of having like a like something really like very good product. Not only good product, but kind of like a something really became evidence of your richness, like how much rich you are. If you are a rich person, then should supposed to be use this iPhone. So it's kind of like a something mentality happen over here. Is it good? Well, it is good or not, I'm not really sure, but it is become opinion. Okay, if you have money and if you want to spend that money to get something really good product, I'm not gonna say that iPhone is not good product. iPhone is really good product, but still you have to pay for that amount of money to get that services and product. So yeah, iPhone is a branded company. So yeah. So no, there is also another thing, wedding services. Wedding is also really expensive. Yeah. Last time I heard that ki um, Anant Ambani and the son of Ambani family. Okay. He has like a really crazy wedding. Then yeah, these are kind of like a some certain thing. I think that ki this product and service are way more expensive than you think it is. Yeah. Next question.